terms they do when they approve your loan. What is it? Whatever that term is, I need that to be my pronoun.
My girls can go out to one ladies' night. That's it. You can go back with a rule book and everything. And then, what's coming to me?
All right. Are y'all gonna kill me if I say, do we throw Michael when he got the skin color change?
Nope, I demand it. Nope, I'm walking off. Scroll. I'm walking off the scroll.
He has a
no,
disease.
It's got to be a scroll. No.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I was just asking a question. First of all,
$1 for a stadium to be built outside of Buffalo.
We have to talk not about just individual behaviors, but about the system, right?
Realize that the credit bureaus, there's nothing federal about it.
So for the believers, it's just like, I have to believe, the God in her, just like she has to believe it in me.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Like and subscribe and tell a friend about 4 brothers down on this YouTube channel. My brothers from another mother, another 7 days. I miss you guys, man. What's going on with you? Talk to me, Derek.
Hey, what's happening, fellas? I hope everything is well with you. Everything is all right with me. A little spooky, though, man. I think I told you before, one of my kids about to get their ass whooped. Right? And I'm just sitting out here, I'm waiting, you just in the air. You know how you just feel the energy, man, because I'm just hearing the sharp tones coming throughout the house. So yeah, that's why I keep looking over my shoulder. I'm trying not to be the next one, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I'm all right though. Everything's good in my house, I think. But what's up, Sean? But yeah, man, everything's good, man. Had a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day, belated. If I did not say it, if no one, ladies or anybody, if you're receiving this right now, no one told you you matter, that you are amazing, that you appreciate it, I'm telling you right now, happy Mother's Day weekend. Hope to all the mothers, and I hope everybody had a wonderful time. I know I spent my time with my family and with my own mother. This was a very significant Mother's Day. With the passing of my father. So we had people coming in from out. Originally, we were going to take a dinner, but it kind of turned into an impromptu cookout. All right. Because my mother's she's not a high frills, whatever person, so she was like, I'd rather just have people around me, my family. So we just kind of just lit up the grill, man, and just did our thing. My boy came by, he played some music, he's a DJ. We were just hanging with him the night before. And it turned into something, man. It's just that wonderful, chaotic energy. You never know, it's spontaneous energy that I always grew up with in my house. We never knew what each weekend was going to look like. Sometimes we would just naturally just decide, it's a party this weekend. And it would just turn into something. You know what I mean? So my father, again, I told you, was definitely the ringleader of it all, the life of the party. So, that's just kind of how we were. We're real spontaneous that way. And we definitely conjured him up for Mother's Day as well. So his presence was definitely felt, and he was definitely in the house that night, or that whole afternoon. So, or the whole weekend actually. So anyway, but that's pretty much it. I'm just waiting to hear the Mama Please and hear the leather hit, right now. But I so far so good, you know what I mean? So, we might make it to another day. And that's about it, man. I'm gonna pass it on to you, Dave, man. What's going on with you, brother? Talk to us.
What's up? Definitely, I want to second what Derek said about all the mothers. Happy belated Mother's Day. Just want to wish everybody, all the women, just out there doing everything they can to make us better people. I think it's always important to acknowledge that and respect it. Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to channel your father and have his presence felt. That sounds amazing, and I'm appreciative to just hear that type of positive energy right now. So we're gonna have a good show. My week wasn't too bad. I had a weekend. I got to see my mother, tell her I love her, celebrate her, which I hope everybody got the opportunity to do in some way, shape, or form. Um, I'm in the middle of, a work week. I got a little clean shave and stuff like that. The first paycheck from Let's Chop It Up came in. It was about 97 cents. So, I balled out. I put it on a Bitcoin or something like that. And, now I'm rich. Nah, that made
Dogecoin,
no sense.
Bitcoin too.
I'm watching the NBA. I'm watching the playoffs, and I got the Lakers in 6 after watching what happened yesterday. A lot of people are like, look at how Denver did this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking. Lakers in 6. And I think it's just been it's been a pretty good time. Like, we moving into, like, Memorial Day. It's gonna start getting warm. The weather's changing. I'm telling you, I got to do my extra push-ups so I could get outside and be like Skinny Demond, just out there living that life. But yeah, things are going well. I'm making progress. My business, I'm setting things up. I'm making progress there. So I'm in a good place. And I'm ready for the show. So I want to pass it to Kelvin. How's it going, brother?
Everything's good, man. First of all, I don't know how you got the 97 cents straight up. Mine was in installments. Okay, so I don't, you must know somebody. But nah, man, everything is good. I'm just like you, preparing myself for the summer, and I'm learning to just take it easy. I think I spent, like a lot of people, looking for the next thing. What are you gonna do next? And the next thing that's coming up, always having something to look forward to, but sometimes that makes you just neglect the moment. So I want to start taking some time to appreciate right now. And Mother's Day was really, really it was good. A lot of people, my mother, I don't have my mother anymore, and a lot of people, for a lot of people who don't have their mother anymore, it's a tough day. It's not a tough day for me. It's really celebratory. I just live on all those great memories and those great times and things, and I feel pretty good about that. And then the other thing is, you deal with family, and as you get older, you realize certain things about family. And I think a lot of older people, the generation before me, did a great job in protecting us from knowing the realities of my family. In other words, we got the natives. That's just the bottom line. That's exactly what it is. But at the end of the day, they still our family. We still love them, and we still know them. So I'm thankful and appreciative of that. And then it's just another day of health. So I'm thankful for that as well. And now I got to give it to the point guard, the devastator, the orchestrator, number one in your program, my man D, the scroll master flex. What's good?
Oh man, what's up, y'all? Listen, first of all, I got a sinus issues going on. High pollen, New York. My eyes are puffy. You say real low. Been crying all day, and I'm nasally. So bear with me. But I'm glad y'all gave a shout out to all the moms. That's real dope. But they wouldn't be nothing without the motherfucker. So the motherfucker. Happy Motherfucker Day.
Well, that's coming up.
They can't be mothers without us being motherfuckers. I'm the top motherfucker.
There we go.
God damn, Sam, come on, son.
There we go. 8 minutes in. 8 minutes in.
I don't know if I agree with that scroll. I think it was a great point. Salient.
You know what I'm saying? So Monday is our day. Without us and all these kids that we carry for all these years, they would not be mothers. So give us some credit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Did you ever think about writing Hallmark cards, D? Did you ever think about that?
Hallmark got him blocked. Every time you send it, block.
Yeah, man. But it's good. This week was good. I just got some information today. I'm so I live in South Jamaica, Queens, if you don't know, and that's right next to JFK Airport. They're kind of changing the name. I'm looking at. It's a meeting I want to go to, but I got another dinner engagement tomorrow. I can't go to. They're about to change it to like aviation. Jamaica Aviation or something like that. They're about to pour billions of dollars into my neighborhood. Billions. They're looking for entrepreneurship, and they're trying to get with small businesses and black and minority small businesses. But the only minority small businesses here at these meetings are mostly Indian, South Asian people. So it's very interesting. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of interesting how the development of my neighbor is about to be ridiculous in about 2 seconds. For people, I made shout-outs on it. I'm about to share that some of this information. It's just crazy.
She's checking in right now. She's trying to look real sedity right now. She's knowing she just finished whooping some ass right now. It's like you see ladies come and put their wig back on and shit. Be like, sedity, hey, how you doing? No, she just
let those kids know. Let them know. Goddamn, who the boss is. But now, besides that, we had a good time with my young people, students. People don't know I work with young people. We had this Afrobeats artist named Nanzo Amadi, a Def Jam artist. He was independent. He's I think his album releases on the 26th of this month. And yeah, I'm looking forward. That was dope. He came down, he sat down with the kids, talked all day, made an Afro beat on the spot for them, let them rhyme over it. So it's really dope. I like that this kid. I want to support this kid. Hopefully, be the next Burna Boy. Like he's on that vibe. So but he was real dope. Doesn't drink alcohol, nothing like that. Moved from Lagos to Toronto, and he's just breaking down a lot of stuff that's going on. Like I didn't know he was giving us information about gun violence in Toronto, which people kind of sleep on, and a lot of stuff the Catholic Church is doing to the indigenous people over there. So it's kind of dope. It's real dope. But I had a good time. Kids learned a lot. That was really dope to see them engage and stuff like this. It was really dope. But it's just sharing. I say all that to say this: reaching across the diaspora of young Black people in intelligent minds. This young boy's 20-something years old, giving back to kids that's 11 to 14 years old. It was really dope. That was phenomenal. So I had a great day yesterday. Great day in my life. But yeah, anyhow, man. Anyhow, let's get into it, man. Well, we had that young brother come from Africa, giving knowledge and giving back and teaching young kids. We had a fool of our own with millions of dollars just fucking up his life in front of everybody. And we watch him self-destruct like no other right now. And I hope he can get it back on track. So for those that know, Ja Morant was suspended by the NBA. Suspended by he was suspended by the NBA before. Now he's suspended by his team until the investigation goes on. But we're gonna play a couple of clips about what happened and some updates, and then we're gonna give our own point of view on Ja Morant. So Jamie, can you please play the clip?
Today, the Memphis Grizzlies suspended NBA star Ja Morant for a possible second gun incident. Video posted on Instagram this weekend appears to show the all-star point guard flashing a gun in a car. Nearly 2 months ago, the NBA suspended Morant after video showed him holding a gun inside of a club. Right now, it is unclear when this latest incident happened. The league is investigating, and Morant has not yet commented.
As far as we know, all of these things have been investigated, and no law has been broken. I'm not condoning the behavior. I'm not saying there should be no punishment. There should be consequences. You are the face of the league. You are representing the NBA. You are a role model to young kids. All of that. I don't think half a season is the right answer. And the last point I want to make, because you bring this up, the guns on social media. We talk about consequences. Look, in our country right now, gun culture is pervasive. It's pervasive. We've got mass shooting after mass shooting, and nobody's doing a damn thing about it. So I get why we're so sensitive to this right now. But there's no consequence for Greg Abbott telling his constituents that they should go buy more guns, and then we have mass shooting after mass shooting in Texas. There's no consequence for an elected Tennessee official to send out a Christmas card holding AR-15s with his young family, and then there's a shooting in his very district. There's no consequences to that. So why are we trying to lay down the hammer on a 23-year-old who didn't break a law? Explain that to me.
Go ahead.
Listen, I think I'm just going to throw something out there. He made some very salient, valid points. JJ Redick did. He did not do anything illegal, or anything like that. And he should not be suspended. Or if he should be or if he is suspended, I think he should be suspended with pay, because I think and this is the deal. I know why they're upset. He did something. He's a famous person. He's always a representative of the team, of the organization, and he's got to comport himself a certain way, uphold certain image standards, and his job description is a little different from, let's say, that of a politician who may be, if he's out there, certain politicians are going out there, they're posing up with their, sending out Christmas cards with their whole families, holding guns and all of that, they're talking to a certain constituency, So, but by the same token, I think if they're going to suspend them, but they got to do it with pay. I think, you know what I mean. So, so that's my thing. I can get why you would not want to associate him with the team for a while. I get that part. So yeah, so take him off the court. That's fine. Get him out of public sight. That's fine. Let it blow over. Send him out for some help, or whatever he needs. But you still got to pay that man.
They can't pay him, because that's how it goes in sports. You get paid for the games you play.
Well, he's got. I think he's got a case. You know, so he's got to go and he's got to
It
do
won't
something.
happen. You miss the game, you don't get paid, bro.
Well, what about the union? The union's got to step up and do something for him. The
The
union's
union
got to
step.
up
This
too.
union, what's going to happen is they're gonna put in the NBA is gonna probably put a high ass number up there. Then they're gonna go to arbitrator. The arbitrator's gonna arbitrate down. He already got 8. What do you got last time? 8 games or 10 games? What was it before?
You got 8 games before, but D, I think they can send you home without paying you. Just like when you have an injury, you get paid. I
That's
think
different.
what happened.
That's
No,
different.
no, but what I'm saying is the player association, because the reason I don't think you can do it because he didn't break the law.
He didn't break
So
the
in
law.
other words, what you're trying to
But
do is
not the, no, you're going by the law, but you got rules of the league about imaging
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So you go if you're breaking the rules of the league, which you sign like any kind of
a
job.
morality clause. I
A
agree.
morality clause. That's what they looking to see if he broke. Now if he broke that and they go
It's
if they go-
conduct detrimental.
That's detrimental. So if they go 40 games, right? Somebody said half a season. They go, what was it, 41 games. So if they do that, then the union step in and they'll say no, and then they'll probably settle like 15 to 20.
But see, this is the
Yeah.
thing. This is my concern with it, and JJ Redick makes a good point. And be honest with you, I've never seen JJ Redick side with anybody but the players because he's a player. But what I'm saying is this: Ja Morant just went into therapy for this. Ja Morant just sat down with Jalen Rose and promised that this was an aberration, that he needed help from it. Ja Morant said that. That was Ja Morant saying that it was a problem, that it didn't look right doing that. That's Ja Morant saying that. And so I think what happens is this. There seems to be, whenever something happens in our community, it seems to be the first defense is to protect our community. Regardless, I think the culpability comes second. That's the thing. So all you hear about, well, what about this person had the gun and this person, a white person, this a politician? At the end of the day, this was a bad look, period. Ja Morant is a 23-year-old multimillionaire that plays for the Memphis Grizzlies, and he is the face of that franchise. Now, all the people that are saying he's the face of the NBA, I don't agree with that. I don't see that. But, I mean, he has the talent to be the face of the NBA, but he doesn't have the persona to do that. He doesn't have the personality to do that. And I don't think he at this point is mature enough to do that. But I think it was a bad look. It's considering the fact that you just literally got suspended less than 2 months ago for the same thing. And so the question is, why are you perpetuating this? Why are you doing it?
You
see what I'm saying?
You just answered the question, though. He just sat down, and this is what's going to go in his favor, I think. He just sat down with Jalen Rose and said, I need help, meaning I need professional help. So now what you're seeing is someone going through a crisis. All right. And that's going to be the argument. So how do you suspend a guy without pay, who's going through a mental health crisis?
And what does he need help with? What does he need help with? Is it substance
mental
abuse?
health.
So
He's
he
saying,
did
you know
get
what I'm
help. He
saying?
went to the strip club. That's when he saw his therapist out there. He dropped money on.
But no, I want y'all to explain this to me. And I'm not trying to be.
Paid her in ones.
I'm not trying to be facetious. So explain to me the mental health that he like. What is the issue mentally? Go ahead, Damien. What is the issue that makes you wave a gun on social media? What is the
I don't know if I could explain that question. I'd rather somebody else answer that, and then I'll jump in with my take on the whole situation. But to answer your question, which I want somebody to respond to, I can't justify what his behavior is and just label it mental health, right? Because that's a label you can slap on almost anything and use it as like and I don't want to use this phrase, but you know, Monopoly, a get out of jail free card. It's like, oh, you did something wrong. Oh, mental health. It's like that kind of does a disservice to people who are struggling and dealing with some very serious issues. And now it's like, you know, another phrase, the boy who cried wolf. So now if everybody's talking about, oh, we all got mental health issues, it's just like, so who are we to help? Who are we supposed to divert resources and support to who really need it?
Ja Morant got niggas.
So I can't really answer your question directly. So I'm gonna try to just my explanation, pardon me, is more similar to JJ Redick because I had that idea and then I saw his take and I was like, man. But I would say that I don't think the average response is to defend our community. I feel like there is more harsh approach to punishment from our community. It's interesting because the only person who seemed to have a lot of grace for Ja Morant was JJ Redick. Everybody else was like, he's doing it again, and this is a problem, and he needs to be punished, and he should lose $200 million. And it's like, okay, those are ideas, but like these are other people just screaming out different types of punishments. I would just say, let the league handle it the way the league does. They have laws, bylaws, and things like that. I know they have rules because I remember another famous basketball player. I don't like to put his name in this, but Gilbert Arenas had an issue in the past before with bringing guns into the stadium and all that other stuff. They must have some precedent that they should follow, right? I don't know if Ja Morant is taking any of these things serious. We also don't know if that video was an old video that somebody else reposted. I actually don't know if he posted it himself. If he did,
This man did.
see, that's a problem now.
Man, for real.
So now that dude, if I'm the Memphis Grizzlies, this person you can't associate with this person no more. If you
now
serious
you
and
can't
you
do
want to
that
do this,
though. You can't do that.
look. So what do you want to do? You want to get suspended 41 games because the team is
No, what
suspended.
I'm saying is you can't tell a grown man who he can associate with. You can't. How do you legislate that? You can't.
And guess what's going to happen at some point?
Yeah.
The law is going to come in and tell that grown man, "Oh, you going to jail."
But
so
no,
you either have some conversation.
They banned his friends from the stadium already when he did the
Exactly. So now it's like, yo, if you associating with this person, this is going to be a red flag for us.
No
so
question.
it's like, because if Ja Morant didn't post it and now his friend had another video and decided to post it, now I'm like, okay, you understand these people don't have your best interest because the team got to talk to him. The owner, whoever's there, that anybody that he's going to at least give any type of thought to, they have to talk to him, because if he does it next season, that's a 3 strikes you're out rule that they don't have, but he's going to put himself and his team and his future at jeopardy just for his external behavior, because the coaches are going to look at him different, his players are going to look at it different, the team is not going to want to offer him the same type of money, other players in the league are not going to want to associate. It's just going to be a snowball effect that I think it should be an investigation. The team should handle it. Yep. We should follow the bylaws of the NBA because they have some things in place. I'm sure they do. And it should be more of a like, okay, the first time we had all this stuff to say, now we're going to let the NBA handle it. If he does it again, then it might be
trade him?
Open field.
Would you trade him?
It depends on who I could trade him for. But if I was the Memphis Grizzlies, no. Because I don't know if they could get anybody of the similar value. Like he is on track to be the new face of the league. And it was going to be between him and Zion Williamson, but Zion Williamson has been hurt because they came in the same draft.
Fat.
Zion was number 1.
Been fat. Let's keep it real. Zion Williams can't stop eating.
He
got that Stanley Roberts problem.
Yeah, he ain't seeing a meal he didn't like, fat fucker.
Oh my God. So in let's say 2-3 years, LeBron might retire. Steph Curry's hitting a certain age. He's gonna be in his late 30s. Durant gonna be in his late 30s. It's gonna be like the Giannis, the Jokic, the Ja Morant. Ja Morant is gonna be the exciting young point guard. You know what I mean? Like in the league.
But I couldn't build with him. I just couldn't build with him. And I know what you're saying. Wait it out. He's 23. He'll mature or whatever. Let me tell you something about the Grizzle. And I'm not talking about the Grizzlies. I'm talking about the Grizzum. Grism. I'm telling you, you don't necessarily grow out of that. I'm telling you, and because in other words, I cannot build with you. I'm telling you, I would rather take somebody like Brunson, who doesn't have as much talent, but I can rely on him. In other words, what I'm saying is this: we all know people. Everybody on this screen, everybody watching, knows somebody who does not know how to act. And if you remember that movie, Jason's Lyric, when they had the guy that was in there preaching about you can't scrub it away, you can't rub it away, you can't wipe it away, you just can't. And some people, I'm telling you, Damian, it's not that you just did it. It's not the infraction. It's the fact that you just got caught doing it, then gonna get out there on live for the whole world to see it again. I'm just, in other words, I don't even care. In other words, I'm gonna just be ignorant and not even mind. Like I'm gonna perpetuate it. That's the thing that concerns me. And listen, and I'll be honest with you, all these kids today with internet and stuff know everything, can't tell them nothing. I can't believe 23 is you 17 years old. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, at the end of the day, you put it like this. I bet you he ain't 23 in that boardroom. I bet when he get in that boardroom, I bet he know what they're doing there. Yeah. I bet the mental illness going when he get in that boardroom. Try to take one of them commas and move it the wrong way and see if Ja Morant to be there. I mean, waxing poetic, to be or not to be. You know what I'm saying? Like my man to be in there waxing. So that's what I'm saying. It's got to be culpability. The reason I said defense with our community, because immediately Stephen A. Smith here coon, and this one coon, and that one a coon, and stuff like that. all that happens, but it's never directed at the person who says it, who does it. That's the reality.
Yo,
Those, I would say those are extremes. Because those dudes, they jump to the moon when it comes to like punishing black players for some reason. And you know, he's Donald Trump's friend. He's like, that's my friend. It's like, wait, there's an extreme in those cases. But I'm sorry, Demar, you were saying?
But no, players have been banned from places. Remember, I don't know, you guys don't follow baseball, but the Yankees couldn't go to Jimmy's Cafe back in the day. They banned all the Yankees players. You can't go to Jimmy's. So they could do what the hell they want. Like, yo, they know, like, yo, people got to realize, if I'm a billionaire and you my millionaire, you're my investment. If I say motherfucking investment, you don't go over there and fuck with them niggas, I'm saying niggas, because those are niggas he's fucking with. You can't
certified,
bona fide, from a fucking corny ass town called something, South Carolina. I used to blow through on the regular. So I must stop it. And then the NBA is $1 billion industry. I was looking at the other day. NBA has a bunker in Jersey to save all they tapes and all that stuff. A bunker that could withstand any kind of bomb, nuclear war type of shit. Do you think they're not gonna say, yo, you can't do that shit? Because we got future investment. Everything you do on the court now, we're looking 30, 40 years down the road for to show them videotapes and make movies about shit like that. So you can't, they're gonna do what the fuck they want to do with them. Like, yo, you can't listen? Fine. Big fine. I'm not even mad at it. I'm more upset with John Morant's father.
My God.
This Usher wannabe motherfucker, thug life, son of a bitch. I wish Shannon Sharp would have smacked the black off his ass so bad and woke his ass up. Not that fucking brown lick out of his hand.
Shannon, man. They ain't want it with Shannon.
Where is his father? Because a father would have came and said, yo, son, you would have fucked up the first time. Then he went to the strip club. Father would have yoked his ass up, punched him in the chest and said, yo, you're going to fuck up the bag. I didn't spend all them damn trips to them basketball courts, all them sneakers, all those practices, all that travel team shit for you to go fuck this shit up in 60 fucking days? Are you insane?
Yeah, his father's trying to be his homeboy, man.
I don't know if y'all watched the Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan moms told Michael, wait, say, yo, son, you're going to go listen to these motherfuckers at Nike. And I don't want to be Adidas. Boy, what I say.
Yep.
And Mike walked his ass right on into that motherfucking meeting and sat his ass down right there.
And changed his life. And changed his motherfucking life.
You know what I'm saying? So where is his father? His father wanted to be in the limelight, got the shades on, he laughing, ha, 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 what up, all that kind of dumb shit. Yo, the father needed a good smack. I wish.
I'm with you. I think you make an excellent point. That's the truth. That's the truth. Because my father could definitely reel me in, and I was grown. And because that's the type of respect and love that you have. You know what I'm saying? And they tell you in a minute, you have my name. You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, I'm not sending you somewhere like you don't know how to act. That's embarrassing. You know? And the way you conduct yourself is really important. I hope he gets it together. I mean, I think some of the reason we're critical because we do care about our community. You know what I'm saying? Everybody out here knows how hard it is to make it. You 23 years old, probably never have to work again. Don't squander that. This obsession with trying to be in some type of street life or whatever. My cousins that were all in the street, one of them that was deep in the street, he was like, anybody that glorified jail or the street is stupid. He said, anybody. And he said, I done been in them both. He said, it ain't nothing to glorify either one. And this thing that you fronting to act like that is the dumbest thing in the world. That's what I don't get. I tell you, I work much like yourself. I work with youth and young adults. And the first thing I always did is let them know I'm not from the street. I ain't never try to front like I'm from the street.
Right.
No, I had two parents that raised me in Massapequa, Long Island. And I'm thankful for it. That's the bottom line. That's it. And if I don't have no street credibility, good, because I don't want nothing. And that's just it. That's the bottom line.
Y'all
don't stop getting on these Jets.
Shows that Kelvin is a Jets fan. How many years until they get a real QB? Aaron Rodgers. Memphis needs job.
Don't worry. Y'all gonna see. You
That's
want to play rough? I play rough.
If they traded Aaron Rodgers midseason, what would you say? You'd be like, what? It's another 40 years before we get a quarterback.
Oh man, don't even say nothing like that. I can't take it. I got hurt just hearing that.
Apologies. I don't want to start no violence today. I just would be respectful. Demar Wilding, he all MFing everybody. He about to Sam Jackson us.
It's the meds, man. It's the meds. But I lost my train of thought. But getting back to like you said something, Kelvin. I mean, damn, you said something about
the natives. That's what I was talking about. The natives. No.
But I just hope Ja really get help. I really hope his father sit down and just realize I got to be a father instead of being a homeboy, living vicariously through him. And most people that's in the street, they want to get the bag with John Morant. All of them dream about having millions of dollars. They hustle from sun up to sundown just to get a third of what John Morant have, a
Not
piece of what he have. And you got it in a matter of like 2-3 years. You got the top bag, and you got the Nike deal messing up, and I don't know what other drink deals he got.
And I think it was Powerade, right?
Yeah, Powerade, like, you know, and I'm like, yo, dog, and they was about to release his sneakers.
That was
like,
game
yo,
over right there. He's about to be the bank,
bro. Everybody, these dudes the dudes that you want to hang around, hustle with, them the same dudes that want to buy your sneakers.
Yep.
Like, I don't. You
Yep.
hustling.
You would have had half a billion.
You hustling backwards.
That's what I'm waiting for you to say, D. He's
Yo,
the
he's hustling backwards.
backwards hustling dude
Yo,
I've
I've never
seen
seen
in
it
a
like
minute.
that, man. Word, man.
Yep.
That shit is disturbing. Go ahead. Sorry, Damon.
This also makes me think about like, and you know, I don't want to drag on, but like, I don't know if they're watching LeBron James close enough.
That's what I said. The blueprints are there.
Somebody needs they need to just you know how Dion brought out
begging for
the
the next
lady
LeBron.
who came and spoke to them.
Yeah.
You need to be in every high school. Listen to look at what this dude is doing. Like honestly, you don't have to like him. It don't matter. Look at how he set everything up. You got 5 dudes in the street that roll with you that'll do anything for you. Put them in the programs to make them your business associates.
Definitely.
If you have basically $500 million at 23, you got enough money to send them to certain programs that'll get them the training and the knowledge so they can run your empire.
Right.
Yo,
like, you know what happened?
Yeah.
These dudes have dudes in the street that protect them, right? And then they feel like they indebted to them forever. There's got to be some time surge with that. That's it. Like at the end of the day, I can't pay that forever.
Listen, 2 things. I'm glad Damien said that. One thing with the NBA, NFL, and MLB, they get paid security. Former cops, like our friend Rodney, that go out there with a licensed firearm, that go out there and know how to handle their business, or former military, whatever. What Damien said is very true, because look at what Shaq wanted to go to the University of Phoenix. He said, I want to go to class and sit in the class. It said we can't, well, he said, I forgot why they couldn't do it. And he said, listen, well, if you get a class, we make a special class for you, you get 10 people. Shaq paid for his friends to go to school with him. They all got their goddamn master degrees and all that stuff. You pay for it. That's what you do. Like Damien said, now you invest. Now, like, yo, Damien, you're my accountant. Kelvin, you're my marketing person. Derek, you're my, my manager. That's how you do it. The blueprint is right there with your man. You just said it, Kobe, not Kobe Bryant.
LeBron James.
LeBron James, damn, fuck Kobe.
Yeah.
But you know what you're forgetting? You're forgetting. And this term I heard one time, and I'm not gonna say what y'all think I'm saying. You remember Kelsey Grammer?
Yes.
So he played a character called Frazier. One day when I was in the limousine business, I had to take his brother, and his whole family. It was going somewhere, and I was talking to him about it. And I was like, yeah, I get a kid that did one commercial, and they all arrogant and stuff like that, and blah, blah, blah. But people that got a lot of money, he's like, listen, you're dealing with first generation success. See, that's the danger right there. That first generation success, because you don't really like what D and Damien are saying is like, you don't realize how long lasting this can be and how sustainable it can be. You think it's because of this car, or you think it's because of this club date, or you think all these different things like that, not realizing that you will not play this game long. Like, you will not play this game too long. It's just a fraction of your life. And when the dance stops, when the music stops, the money stops. That's it. Dennis Rodman broke right now. People don't realize once you get paid twice a month in the NBA, the 1st and the 15th, and one day that's going to end. So whatever you do and invest in, you got to make that last. And while you young and while you think these contracts keep coming, one day it'll stop. My father told me one thing. He said, you can have $1 billion and write a check for $1.1 billion. It's going to bounce. People need to understand that. That's the reality of it. And that comes fast. And what you do is you accelerate yourself getting out of the league. You accelerate the process, because guess what? Every year they got a draft. Every single year. Do not get gassed and think you're the only one on this planet that can do it. Because they're going to find somebody. Somebody going to be drafted this year, and they want your spot.
Iverson. Look at Iverson. Lucky he had one homeboy to set him up right later on.
Yeah.
And then you got to think about, to get to your pension, you got to play 10 years. A lot of cats be gone in 5. John Morant go out tomorrow, blows Achilles, tears patella tendon, is over. And he won't be explosive jumping. He's only like my height, 6'1", 6 feet. And that could be over. Like you said, it could be gone. Look at the show Broke. How many NBA players and NFL players on there broke? What's my Sprewell had motherfucking run around with them stupid ass rims. Broke.
Yeah, I just,
you know what I'm saying?
It's just hard, right? It's hard to there are examples. And a lot of these players now, especially people like Ja age 25, 27, they said, I grew up idolizing LeBron James. What did you idolize? Just the fact that he was a great basketball player? Because really, if you idolize somebody, you tend to study the individual. And they may not be studying the individual enough. And if I was a coach, I'm letting them know, yo, you got a real shot. You need to start carrying yourself in a way that's going to protect you for the foreseeable future. You can change your entire family's life forever.
Yep.
Because right now, I do believe, and if you're a financial advisor, let me know. If you put $1 billion in the proper savings account, you can live off the damn interest.
Facts.
I know you can. I'm just, if you're a financial advisor and you want to tell me I'm wrong, please explain it. But I'm pretty sure if you have $1 billion, you can live off the interest, and they probably give you a special account.
What you got to do at this stage is stay out your own way. That's all you got to do. Just stay away from the self-inflicted. That's all you got to do is stay away from this. John Morant could go down with a business manager and say, hey, you know what? I want to come out with the John Morant toilet paper. And guess what? They're going to pitch it to Scott Tissue and somebody's going to do it. In other words, you can't miss at this stage. You can't miss. You got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that watch you. Anything you sell, anything you can touch, turn to gold if you know how to act. It seems so to me. You know what award I used to get every year in school? No academic awards, perfect attendance. I knew I was gonna get that one. I knew that was the one. That was the layup, right?
That
was the easy one. All you got to do is stay out of trouble. You have a problem going out, it's something at your house, and invite all the models you want, and have your own security, and that'll be your club. You shouldn't even be in a situation that you are around these dudes that don't mean you any good.
No lie.
Before we go next to the subject, like Stu said, NBA players had what Sean say?
He said, Ja, like most that get success too early, it comes down to poor parenting and preparation for success. And they try to do something. They try to do a little rookie orientation and talk to you about.
Listen to that shit. Motherfuckers be half sleeping that shit.
Yeah, you probably right.
You know, Chris Carter used to come to that shit. Motherfuckers like, yo, don't go to it. They be right there. But no, it's players that had ATMs in their house. And I go to the last. I'm gonna tell you. I used to work with David Justin, the baseball player, and we work at the Yes Network. He used to be in there, and he always talk about going to Derek Jeter's. Like, yo, we're going to Jeter's place. Jeter always brought the party to him. He said, no cell phones. I don't hug no women in pictures. And you never knew what happened. So there was never a story. I'm worried about, we only seeing what's on camera with John Morant. What is happening off the camera?
And I hope they don't start investigating that. That's all I'll say. Because usually the stuff that you catch on camera, the stuff that you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, yo, put that down.
Yeah.
So if he's comfortable with what's going on, smiling and dancing, you brought up a great point.
That's the only thing I'm worried about the brother. But anyway, let's talk about some relationships. I got a question for you, my brothers from another mother here. What are your thoughts on getting back with an ex multiple years after a breakup or divorce?
So I am more of the mindset that you are who you are, but I do believe people with enough sincerity and effort can make significant change so they can reverse habits and be better and do better. Getting back with an ex multiple years after breakup or divorce, I think it's really dependent on the person, because if the relationship didn't end, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't got the cousins busting the windows out the car. It's not a Jasmine Sullivan song and stuff like that. There may, some relationships can end on a mutual agreement, a mutual understanding. We're growing apart, but you may still have feelings for somebody. You may grow. And I think it's possible, but rare. But then again, successful relationships are rare, right? So I think it depends on the person. And if that person is of value to you, there's nothing wrong with giving it a shot, because what you're going to do, meet somebody brand new who got the same issues and doing the same fuck shit. Like,
I'd rather try to walk on water than go back on my ex.
Well, there's some evidence of somebody walking on water somewhere, some book.
It won't be me.
Well, let me say this. I think it has a lot to do with the circumstance, and I think everybody has. I know this term is probably cliche. One of my friends always used to use it: deal breakers, right? And certain things are deal breakers. To me, infidelity is a deal breaker for me. Now, it's not for everybody. I've been through that before. Kel did that. So hopefully y'all don't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? No, I mean, no, I've been through that before. And I'm going to tell you something. I realized, and one of my friends, I'll never forgot, the girl that got pregnant when I was 22 years old by somebody else while we was together. I still loved her at the time. Like, it was the craziest thing, right? And one of my boys, like, it was funny because she was trying to get back with me after having the kid. And one of my friends was like, yo, he's like, yo, if you tried to do that and it worked for a minute, long term you'd resent her and you'd hate her. Like you think you even, because right now you just all messed up. He said, but it wouldn't work. And he was absolutely right. Even just saying it right now, that look on your face, I was 22 years old, you know what I'm saying? That would have been the look on my face right after that, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you let emotion impair your judgment. So it depends on what the circumstance is, because people evolve. So sometimes the things that you used to do, women usually mature 5 years sooner than men. And there's usually a curve. So sometimes the things, like some dudes want to run the street and then they get it out their system and whatever like that. Sometimes a woman's like, oh, you got your stuff together now, we can do it. But so I think everybody has to determine what their own kind of line of demarcation is. And for me, that's a deal breaker right there.
All right. So can I ask you a question? Like, infidelity, yes, I understand that. Are there some situations where you may be able to reconsider? Because what you explained, I hope nobody tries to work that out. Like, just if you ask me, no,
that's all kinds of wrong.
Right.
Yeah, that's next level.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm listening. Definitely. I'm about to go listen to Big Daddy Kane, Pippin Ain't Easy, just because you told me. So I need a refresher. Need a refresher. But so, are there any circumstances that you feel like where, you know what, if this was a circumstance, and you know, a genuine person, right? It's not a ski. I was about to say skeezer. Is that wrong? Would I get a scroll?
To be right.
That's right.
Okay. Look, I'm trying not to get the demand treatment right now. So what are some scenarios where, if there's one or two, you'd be like, you know what, this scenario, this circumstance might be something that could work out in the future. You know, sometimes you meet somebody too young, right?
Yep.
Maybe that, I don't know. Maybe incarceration. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't call it. I can't think of an instance where, listen, man, I'm just thinking about myself. I'm like, I know at least one person, man, that's an ex that I would crawl away butt naked, wet over broken glass just to get away from, dog, if I had to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just hard. It's just I can't even imagine. So I think that you have to be, and I'm pretty intentional anyway, so it's kind of hard for me. So maybe don't go by me, but now I just can't see it, you know. But maybe incarceration, maybe something you know, maybe illness. I don't know, something happened completely outside somebody's control, and you know, you got pulled apart by external forces, and it wasn't by a personal choice, and it maybe something like that. But other than that, I can't think of an instance.
First of all, let me say this. One of my friends just texted me and says Damien has such strong emotional intelligence. Don't gas Damien up. He all right. All right. So let me say this. You look at Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, you know, so you know, as she spun the wheel, it's back on him now. And some people that was foul. That's not a scroll. Self-inflicted scroll. I can't front. That was foul. That was foul. I agree. That was foul.
Yeah, I support it though, Calvin.
I didn't want to leave the D out there by itself. Some people get divorced and get remarried because sometimes people. I think what it is people sometimes separation is good for people. It lets people grow. Sometimes. You know, you have people back in the day get married 18, 19 years old and didn't have a chance to live themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and then they go out there and find out that the grass may not be greener. Somebody just compliments you, you know, and it's also something about somebody that knows you early on, you know, before your successes and things like that, you know. So that is true.
Oh my God.
Shout
out to Heffa, my homie. And D, how you doing, D? She's a good friend, nice woman. Both of them amazing people. But yeah, thank you, Kelvin. I appreciate that. And Kelvin's friend, shout you out too. But that's an interesting point you made. You know, marrying young and maybe coming back together. I think it's interesting because, you know, there's a lot of times people say they didn't know how good they had it You know,
That
so that's
happens.
another common
That's
saying
true. That happens.
that goes on.
sometimes.
But y'all saying y'all didn't know how bad y'all had it when
Facts.
y'all was in certain
Facts.
situations.
Facts.
So that's also a thing.
I wouldn't fuck my ex with any of your dicks.
Oh my God.
No, I'm sorry. We broke the
Yo.
tie. No.
Nah, he got
There you go. There you go.
He
That's
was
right.
holding that one.
Yeah.
He was
Right,
ready.
right. That's
Rocket
right. That's
launcher.
right. The very next possession, he get the ball back.
Fucker.
He was like, the very next time I get in a car, I'm whipping the gun out, Josh style.
Word up. Word up.
Oh my gosh.
Word up. I'm telling you right now.
I'm guessing you didn't have the best experience
Nah,
in
nah.
the past. Yeah.
Nah.
But you also got to ask yourself, why did we break up?
Oh,
Like, you can't ignore that. You got to figure out why we broke up, because
Strong
at the end of
Nelly,
the day,
Nelly and Ashanti. That's a good one.
time can be a healer, but it
Hey,
doesn't
Shawnee, you know my
necessarily
pain,
change
Shawnee. You
people.
know my pain.
Wait, can I? But
Love you, boo.
now, when you're talking about Ashanti, every like 2 or 3 years, you look back, you be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, right? You get me right. Like, so that's not a difficult spin of the wheel, as Kelvin would say.
But no, it is. I think because Ashanti, everybody knows that she's always been sweet. I think Nelly probably was out here, you know, he's Nelly. He was the top of his game. Now he's getting a little older, getting towards the 50s. Like, you know what? This shit is all bullshit now. I need somebody who also have my back. I could call late at night, talk to, work some shit out. Some men just want to hear like, yo, like somebody's asking really, how's he doing? And that's what he probably didn't get no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, and he also made a song called Pimp Juice, so I'm sure he was out there enjoying his
tip drill,
experience.
motherfucker. I was part of that tip drill shit.
I wasn't gonna mention the classic, one of the greatest hip hop videos of all time.
Not the swipe, right?
Yes, the swipe.
Yes, the swipe. Yes, the swipe.
Yes.
Don't get me started, because I'm gonna get the next scroll messing with y'all talking about stuff like this.
The only videos better than that's the videos of Sam and I, Jamie Anaheim, and Daytona Beach.
Gosh. Oh my.
Yeah.
So y'all were
I saw that on the
on a
commercial.
different version of Freak Nick?
Yeah,
Y'all was on
that's part
Freak
of
Nick Daytona?
Freak Nick has nothing on Daytona. I'm just trying to tell people that. You had to be at Daytona. Freak Nick was PG.
Well, let me say something. I'm gonna do something I never do. We never discuss what we're gonna discuss in the future on this show. I have something we have to discuss, and I thought about this the other day. Some of our people should not be allowed to travel to other places. I'm gonna tell you, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious.
Oh my God.
That's right. You shouldn't be able to go to Martha's Vineyard. You shouldn't be able to go to the Hamptons. You shouldn't be able to take a flight to Vegas, Miami. You know why? Because you don't know how to act here. That's the bottom line. I'm just saying that we have to discuss it. Call me whatever y'all want. It's the truth. It is the truth. Some people don't know how to act, and then they have the nerve to find out that you can travel.
Oh my God.
That's the truth. That is the truth.
They don't
That
know
is
how to
the
travel
truth.
right.
I'm not want to go to France and run into somebody from Guy Brewer.
Thank you.
That's right.
Lorette know how to know Daytona was during the 90s. That shit was
Oh my
insane,
God.
bro.
All right, so now I got a question. How short is too short to want to get back, and what's too long? If it's like 20 years, it's like, all right, this 20 years ago, I ain't worried about. But if it was like a year or two, do you think it might be not enough time to get back with an ex or something like that? Is there a time frame where you might be like, okay, this might be something worth considering?
I think you got to go through all the major holidays alone first.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? You can't be back together before the next Valentine's Day. No, I think you got to.
Yeah, I'm sorry, finish some pop.
No, I think it has to be some time. You got to, it got to be at least a calendar year.
But can you spend the holidays with somebody else? Because when you said alone, I'm like, wait a minute. Certain days, Damon was already talking about it. Motherfucker Mondays, like you can't be alone on that day.
Nah.
You know what I realized? You need a passive aggressive scroll, because I know you be dodging these scrolls. You get right up to the line, Damien, and then be avoiding it. He need one too. We need a scroll standby alert.
Listen,
not at all.
To get back for me, my ex will have to be hell, will have to freeze over, defraud, come back before I even think about that shit.
All right, I'm gonna do like Bill Belichick. She dead now, D. You killed her, D. Let's go have some potato salad. She dead. You just killed her, D. You done broke the woman down. All right, we know, D. He done took every shot at the woman. He only talk about one ex. He ain't talk about no other. He talk about one.
No, my other exes are all straight. They're all cool people. They're all good. They're all good women. They're all good women. So I can't complain. I fucked a lot of that shit up. I was at Daytona.
You know what I realized? There was somebody else in that white Bronco. It was you, D.
Oh
D
yeah.
was in that white Bronco.
I'd have been OJ man. I ain't gonna lie. That's how me and Chicken Wing get down. I'd have rolled with him. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh my God.
That would have been
I'm
me. I
not messing
swear
with
to
y'all.
Al Collins. That would have been me, baby. I'd have been rolling. That's
You know what I noticed? D? The comments is quiet right now. Nobody want to type nothing because they like, wait, I might have somebody watching.
Yeah, they reminiscing right now.
Everybody in the comments is, wait, when they move on, I got a lot to say for the next
I'm
topic.
already looking at my
Going
wife.
crazy on the
Talking
next
about
topic.
Daytona. How you know about Daytona back in the 90s?
Yo, I did see Derek looking at that without that smile. Derek was like, yeah.
Long time ago.
We need to
Long
talk.
time. This before your time. Long time ago.
That's a Ghostface song. That's the only thing I know about Daytona. He did a rap.
Oh, Luke Skywalker videos. Boy, we had a good time. Boy, we had a time last night. Let me see. What we got? Oh yeah. Now, what would you do if what would have you done in this situation? Did this father handle this well? Jamie, can you play the clip?
Maybe.
What would you have done in this situation?
It's your toy? Lord, hold on. Oh my Lord. Hold up, baby. Oh, you get out, baby. We ain't doing that. Hey, get it. Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah, look at that crazy.
Yeah. He
I had
said,
a couple
yeah, what
questions. Right, because that the scooter was the young black girl scooter, right?
Yeah.
And the other girl, y'all saw the Heisman stiff arm, right? When she walked over and just kind of gave her a little.
Yeah, the Debo. Yeah, just kind of
Yeah,
like,
okay.
yeah, that's mine right there. Yeah. That was absolutely it. She was like, nah, this is mine right now. She was only respecting the bigness of the father. That's the only thing she was respecting at that moment, man. She was like, yeah, this is mine now.
I've seen this movie, right?
Exactly.
You know, like this Black Panther movie, they use the word colonizers. And I was like, is that an example of pre-colonization?
Hey, man.
Thought about early. No, I think, well, first of all, this is the way I see it. When it comes to dealing with somebody else's child and it's two children, I would usually get the other parent to, hey, this doesn't belong to your daughter. If you could just get her, I wouldn't want to handle somebody else's kid, push them back or push them away. These are two kids, and I don't know what they know or whatever like that. I'd probably go to the kid's mother, like, excuse me, miss, get your daughter, please. That's my daughter's scooter. That's just the way I would have probably handled it. But I wouldn't put myself in a position to even touch somebody else's child, even remove somebody else's child from the toy. To their kid, it's a toy. When they go to school, they get a bunch of toys universally. Nobody owns it. It's just they go after it. And that's probably what the girl is thinking. It's a playground or whatever like that. So that's just the way I see it.
Where was the child's parent?
She's the producer. She the one trying to get the clicks on this video. So that's why there was a camera there.
Yeah,
that's right.
So the white parent or the black parent you talking about?
Well, white parent, both of them.
The white girl. Yeah,
probably collaborative, but
yeah, I mean, no, sometimes you listen, man. That's a life lesson. If you're not there to educate and teach your children, the world is going to. All right. Yeah. So whether that been that man, whether that would have been the other child's father or later on in life, something else, that little girl's gonna learn a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because the world's gonna teach. You know what I'm saying? So so in that case, yeah, he has to go and and meanwhile, your daughter's out there watching you, looking at you like, Dad, what are we gonna do? Are you gonna go and walk to somebody else's parent and say, what do you sometimes you gotta step in and stand in the gap. So while I do understand your reluctance, Kelvin, to do that, I would respectfully disagree on that behalf. I would have stepped in as well. And then dealt with the parent if they had something to say. You know what I'm saying?
So wait, you gonna give her that work afterwards? Like that?
Listen, I would rather ask for I would rather give an apology than ask for permission, as they say. You know what I'm saying? So so definitely because you're not you got to teach. Yeah, that's it.
That's a great point, because I was thinking, what if the daughter decided to push the girl and she fell? So now the parent is like, "Oh, you touched my." So stepping in could have, because remember, that is that child's toy.
That's
so
toy.
Why are you walking up on me grabbing my stuff? A kid is gonna respond like push, like probably like get off of my stuff. So it might have been he might have intervened because the girl looked a little upset.
Yeah,
she did look to her father. I agree. She did look to her father.
She did, but imagine if she looked at Dad and then turned around and cold cocked the little girl and was like, "Yo, it's mine."
Yeah, but she looked
Yo.
at the father, man, then the father would have turned around and looked somewhere else, and she's looking at the father. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta, you know,
That
what
white
kind
girl,
of
look,
damage
she
is
got the
that?
right. She got the right kid. Cause my grandnephew and Messiah Contessa, he would have smacked fire that little girl off the top, son. He don't play no games. Son. He's different. I ain't gonna lie. So he got the right parent. He got the right
This
kid. 'Cause
damn
my
Derek
grandnephew-
never shared a chopped cheese with his boys.
Fucking chop. Yo, McDonald's sell chopped cheese now. Ain't that some bullshit? Yeah, that's so they try to go into the New York market. Like, I was like, yeah, that shit's crazy. McDonald's chopped cheese bullshit. But anyhow, man. Well, Jamie, you gotta take our commercial break because the old people bladders gotta go.
Orchard Blue Counseling Services, or known as OBS, is a private mental health practice based in Southeast Queens, New York. OBS's founder and holistic psychotherapist, Serene Prince, is a Queens native with Caribbean roots. Serene is committed to providing culturally competent holistic psychotherapy to diverse communities while curating a safe healing space for Black and Brown people with compassion and awareness of their total being. As experts in children and teens, we have curated a mental health and wellness community where children are heard, guided in developing a healthy self-esteem, supported in strengthening their inherited resilience, and learn skills to manage their emotions to develop positive relationships with parents, adults, and their peers. Orchard Blue Counseling Services is designed to help children and adults discover their inner healer as we take the journey with our clients to work towards self-acceptance, self-love, and resilience to manage life's uncertainties and embrace its wonders. Our private practice extends to providing consultant services for personal life transitions and business development, parenting guidance and support, and clinical supervision for mental health students and therapists. And be sure to book our founder, Serene Prince, as your next holistic speaker, offering your audience a life-changing experience. Now that you have taken the first step to learning about us, we invite you to walk towards a healing and progressive life with Orchard Blue Counseling Services. Contact us for your free consultation where applicable. Email or call us at info@orchardbluecounseling.com or area code 516-200-1174. You can also connect with us at our website and social media pages, orchardbluecounseling.com, or on Instagram at orchardblue_counseling SBCS, or Facebook at Orchard Blue Counseling.
Yo, what's up? If you like what you're seeing from the Four Brothers here, give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay notified when we go live and post new content. Thank you for the support. Yo.
What's up?
All right, let's get into something else. Let me see, man. So people know about that kid that got choked out on the train, right? Brother Neely, Jordan Neely, right? So they got a fundraiser for Daniel Penny, the man that choked his life out. It's net over $2 million. Jamie, can you play the clip for us, please?
Now to the latest on the deadly subway chokehold case. The suspect, Daniel Penny, charged with manslaughter in the death of Jordan Neely. He's also been the subject of protests all across the city. But tonight, an online defense fund for Penny has gone above the $2 million mark. As Pix 7's John Muller reports, some are comparing this case to an infamous subway vigilante case from 40 years ago.
He's charged with manslaughter in the fatal chokehold death of homeless man Jordan Neely on the subway. But Daniel Penny's defense fund has now grown to $2 million, all donations. Despite protests across the city, Penny's swollen defense fund shows how differently some see this case. It mirrors an infamous and racially charged subway crime almost 40 years ago. In 1984, Bernie Goetz opened fire on 4 black teenagers who asked him for money on a train in the Bronx. All 4 teens were hit. 1 was paralyzed.
Going back in time, looking at 84, it's interesting how divided the city was on whether Goetz should be, lauded as a hero, the subway vigilante he was dubbed, or whether he should be criminally held accountable. And it seems like something similar is happening today.
Bennett Capers is a professor of law at Fordham University and director of the Center on Race, Law, and Justice. He says Penny's $2 million defense fund is telling.
Certainly there are people who think crime is out of control and it is the everyday citizen who is the victim in this case. And for those people, they want to come to the aid of the everyday citizen.
Goetz was charged with attempted murder, but ultimately acquitted of all charges except carrying a concealed firearm. A jury will have to decide if Penny had a reasonable right to feel afraid for his life.
It's one thing for people to say, oh, there was really nothing wrong with Penny tackling the guy and holding him down. That would be true if nobody died.
As the case winds through legal courts and the court of public opinion, the funeral fund for the man who died in the chokehold death, that sits at $125,000. A far cry from the $2 million raised for the man charged in his death.
Yo, I get the scroll right. Fuck Pix 11. Fuck the lawyer who talked about this case of 40 years ago. Fuck all of them involved in that story. Fuck all of them. They spent more time talking about something that happened 4 years ago than talking about the actual crime and the person who was killed. I'm not with it. Fuck all of them.
Feels how you really feel.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, what they're talking about, listen, Dame, I feel you. The argument is not necessarily that, let's say, in the case of Bernie Goetz, that the kids were not, maybe they were setting them up to do something to them or what have you. You know what it is. And it wasn't necessarily in this case that the man Neely maybe needed to be subdued. All right. And went too far. It was the fact that when you look at it, you think, hey, if roles were reversed, if it was, what would the outcome have been? We know you go and you kill 4 white guys or shoot up 4 white guys, talk about there's no self-defense, you know what I mean? And likewise, you know what I'm saying? If that's a white guy who gets choked out, you know what I'm saying, and killed, we already know how that works out, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just, I think the argument, obviously, and I'm not stating anything that we don't already know or haven't already said, but it's an obvious argument for us, but maybe not so obvious for other people. Actually, it should be. But we're still playing this silly game, So yeah, I feel you on that, Dame. Yeah, fuck everybody, man, for real, for not knowing,
And last thing, they also said Kid Rock is supposedly one of his
justice.
biggest donors. Fuck Kid Rock too, if it's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that, but I'm sure it's true. I mean, Kid Rock made no. He definitely, that is one of the good old boys.
Funny how they never had that money when if shit was reversed, man. They wouldn't have all that fucking money, man, for nobody. You know what I'm saying? So we already know where the money. Fuck everybody who gave money, because we already know where your money's coming from and why you giving money. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I'll say this. I'll just say this to take some. I know there's a lot of emotion. I hope younger people, especially those that protest, start to really, really get in the system to become the changers, the agents of change within this system. You're going to have to delve into it. You got to get into it. You can't just always stand on the outside and let these people that are 70 and 80 years old make the laws and all the legislation. You got to get into it. Young people have to do that. You got to obviously have an economic position that you got to take, make them feel it economically, because, stand on subway tracks and delaying trains and all that stuff like that. What people don't realize, these cops love when you do that, because you get overtime. I mean, every time you put your hands up and say, hands up, don't shoot, they was giving you escorts around the city. People was getting overtime like crazy, but it has to be strategic. Now, I was always told this era doesn't want a leader. This era feels like everybody should be able to lead. They don't want like a Dr. King or Malcolm X. They just feel, but what I'm saying is there has to be something strategic. You know, so where you spend your money, you can paralyze a place by withholding it. And the other thing is this: you need to become judges, you need to become legislators, you need to become officers, you need all these roles that you can't stand, replace the people that are in them now. And we've got to make sure we do that. You got a lot of places that you got a commissioner that don't look like the community, you got a mayor that doesn't look like the community, all these different places. You've got to actually be not just the population, but you got to be leaders. And I hope young people will get angry enough to go and do that. And if that means going to school, or that means becoming a politician yourself, then go ahead and do it. We got to do it, because just being reactionary, just reacting and stuff like that, people expect that. People know we're gonna react. You're gonna vote. You're gonna protest for a couple of days. It'll blow over till the next thing happens.
Yeah, you're gonna send out a fucking social media post. That's about it, and then we're done with that.
And break some glasses and run into some stores and pull some.
Wait for somebody to break some glass. Yeah,
right.
You know, it's so funny when people that donated the money to the white boy. They keep to him as a Marine, ex-Marine veteran, whatever.
Oh,
now the funny thing is, he was a Marine that was dealing with housing, like the same thing this young man was. They wouldn't give him a fucking dollar. They walk right past his white narrow ass and like, I'm sorry, that God bless you, hope it works out, pray to Jesus. And that's all they would do, you know. And it's so sad when you had a young man that's probably crying out for help. People like, oh, and they always throw up his record of 40 arrests. And people, like we said before, I think we said on the show, the people that get arrested like this, they usually looking for housing because it's so cold in New York in the wintertime.
Yeah,
you get a meal, you get washed up. So you'll do some things just because I know I'll break every glass on Rockaway Boulevard and wait for the cops to come, because I know if I do it on a Friday, I'm not going to see the judge till Monday. So I'll have to have a warm, bed to sleep in and stuff like that. So it's many ways why this young man, and people don't tell his story. They always go out there, oh, this guy was a Marine. They didn't talk about the young man's mother passed away and he lost it after that. They don't mention that as much as they mention the guy was an ex-Marine, he did this or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, if he did the same choking of a citizen as a Marine in one of those foreign countries, he would have been on trial for that shit.
You're right.
He would have been on trial for that. So that's the funny thing, how this thing is playing out. How they seeing him like, nah, he's a civilian. He ain't no Marine.
Yeah.
If he was a Marine, he would have got fucking charged for that shit.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You want to say something?
No. You're right. I'm just saying this is why I do think Kelvin's point is poignant and it is a factual solution, but that's a 20-year, 15-year play down the line for a lot of these people. You know what I mean? Like, who that's never been their goal. Like, if you're 25 and you're going to school for something else, and now you're like, well, you got to get in the system. It's like, I wanted to follow the dream. I might want to be an astronaut. So now I got to become a lawyer to fight this issue. I agree that people need to do it.
Right. But Damien, at least elect people that'll do it for you.
Maybe
we don't vote,
but
people don't vote. Young people don't vote.
Well, I don't know the voting numbers. I can't tell you. I do know that the last couple of elections, they did say there was a surge in youth voting. So, I mean, if the surge is up there, but it also, if we're just being honest, we make up 13-14% of the population. I don't think we can sheer numbers overpower the
over the national population.
But in most places, we are still the minority. There's a few states where we might have a strong, but they redistrict. They do their tactics. You know what I mean? Like, so we gotta address all of it, and not just be like, well, we got to do this, and I agree with you, but there's so many steps before we even get there, and they have so many things in place to mess it up along the way that it would never be as easy as we got to get in the system. They get in the system, and now
I agree, but right now, do you think this is working?
I'm not saying it is, but like, there has to be a more strategic, like you said, understanding of the process and how, if you wanted to make a change in the system, it is a 20-year type of play, right? And while all this stuff is happening, and this getting inside the system is difficult itself, and while inside the system, they do everything they can to, you know what I mean? Like, deter you, to keep you in your place, to find dirt on you so they can hold you down. Like, there's so much that also happens that I would say it's important to acknowledge all of it, even while I'm agreeing with you that I think that is part of the solution that needs to happen.
I agree. Let me say this. So a couple of years ago, several years, my father died in 2013, right? And when
Rest in
you
peace.
die, thank you, when the person dies, I think you're eligible to get their last Social Security check or something like that. And
$250 you get.
yeah, something like that. I couldn't get it. I'm calling Social Security every single day, and the phone just rings. Nobody's picking up. It just rings. It rings and rings. And one day somebody's like, "Yo, go down to your congressperson's office and let them know about this." I was like, "All right." I go down there and I speak to a brother at Meek's office, as a matter of fact. And I speak to a brother, and he's like, "All right, let me call Social Security." I'm like, "Why are you gonna call Social Security?" And I've been telling him you're not gonna get through. Yes, hello, this is such and such, but I didn't realize he got numbers I don't have. I realized that going in there makes a difference. One last thing, COVID happened. We had a fire at my house. COVID happened. They told me, the insurance company's like, "I don't care what happens, we cannot process the claim until you get a fire report." I go call Metrotech. All the fire reports are Metrotech in Brooklyn. COVID, everybody working from home. We just can't get you a report. I'm sorry, we tried, but we just backlogged. This may take 3 months. I'm like, there's no way. You know what I did? I went right down to the same congressperson's office. The police commissioner of the place in Springfield Gardens was on vacation and emailed me the report that day. What I'm saying is this: we don't even know our elected officials. At least go in there. You put these people in there. We're not outnumbered in Springfield Gardens. We're not outnumbered in Jamaica Queens. So I'm saying on even the most grassroots level, at least get in and learn. And you're right, Damien. I'm not asking you to come and be the politician necessarily, but since you're going to pay taxes and somebody's going to represent you in your district, then get to know them. And if they don't do what you need them to do, then let them know I will vote you out and replace you with someone that does represent my interests. We got to jump in somewhere, but stand on subway tracks and delaying trains and stuff like that. People feel getting arrested every day, so like that. People think, I don't think it has a big impact anymore. I think, matter of fact, when something happens, I think they prepare for that.
I completely agree, and I would bet money that they're prepared for it. The last thing I was saying, and obviously, everybody else jump in, but what you just explained, I just learned something new. I don't know how many people listening to this show, how many people in their teens and early 20s even understand that they can do what you just mentioned. So if they don't have right, so if they don't even have an understanding of this is a solution to those type of problems. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. There needs to be some more of a strategic understanding of what can be
Never
done for
occurs
any
to
of these type of solutions. That I'm sure there are, let's say, I'm guessing 1 million to 10 million people who had a similar issue during the shutdown and did not know what you knew.
Right.
And it would have been great if they were educated properly, because school systems don't do it, or whatever there's always an explanation for something, but it would be great if those people were educated and knew that those were part of the ways in which they could advocate for themselves.
Oh, no doubt. Go down and meet these people. You know why? Because politicians always want credit for something. And they always want to get reelected.
Exactly.
They want to tie their name to big shit. You're right.
And I'll shout you out. I'll go and tweet about you. Honestly, I'll tell y'all something I do now. When I call like any online service and the people help me and solve my problem, yo, you got a thing, I'll fill it out for you. I tell them straight up, I will take the extra 5 minutes and fill it out, because I feel like if I call back and you knew I filled it out for you, you're gonna do the same thing you just did for me. I'm looking for that type of treatment. So if people are like, yo, Damien called, let me answer. Yeah, exactly. Because I'm gonna fill it out, I'm gonna big you up. I'm gonna shout you out. If you solve my problem or you help me through an issue,
I do that shit all the time.
I got you.
I get that shit.
I got you.
Now, Sean, what's Sean saying here? Oh,
yeah, bigger questions. Why aren't the politicians teaming up for the Neely family?
There's some out there. I think. Oh, you got Reverend Al's going to do the eulogy, and he's already. I ain't see Crump this time.
Maybe I thought he responded early.
Oh, Crump responded early? Okay.
I thought he responded early, yeah.
Okay,
Crump usually.
Crump out there. Crump must got a private jet. That motherfucker everywhere. That motherfucker faster than Batman. So that motherfucker everywhere, boy.
He like one of the mega pastors or something.
Word up, man. That motherfucker might be the Black Panther. That motherfucker everywhere. God damn, Crump over there. Damn. All right, let me see. There's some more racist shit here, man. So it's a city bike Karen, Sarah James Comrie. Comrie? Yeah, Comrie. keeps Carolyn Bryant Delham's racist spirit alive. The lady, people don't know, that's the lady that set up Emmett Till. She was the original. She was the original Karen of the world. So, Jamie, can you play the clip for us, please?
No, record it. Help me! Please help me! It's not your bike. Please help me! It's not your bike. It's not your bike. Please help me! Help! Please get off me! Hey, what the fuck is going on, bro? Yo, don't not take it, bro. Now you're not getting the bike, bro. Hey, now you're not getting the bike, bro. Help! You're not getting the bike. I'm not.
Why you took his phone? What's wrong with you?
You're not
touch his phone. Do not touch his phone.
I'm not touching you. You putting your stomach on my hand.
No, dude, stop. No, dude, stop. No. I said no. I said sit down.
Please, she's just crying.
You're not crying. I got your video. Wait, you pulled it out? Hey, Hassan, you pulled it out? Hassan, you pulled it out?
This is my bike. It's on my account. Please move.
All right, so why don't we reset the bike?
I'm not resetting the bike.
It's his.
Reset it and I'm pull it out on your account.
You are active.
I don't give a fuck.
Stop fake crying. Just fake crying. Stop fake crying.
Hey, stop touching me. I don't touch you.
Hold up.
Hey, stop touching me.
Why don't you take this bike?
Stop touching me. You're not touching me. I will.
Exactly. So take it. So take it.
You're stupid ass. Fuck out of here. Dumbass. Your baby gonna come out with
Wait, how you stop crying? Not a tear came down, miss. Not a tear came down.
Can I say something real quick? I noticed in all of that, it didn't really look like they was afraid for their safety. She didn't look like she was afraid of those multiple, maybe 4 black men that are so dangerous. She looked the most comfortable out of all of them. So I don't know nothing about this fear that they keep talking about. Oh, it's a fear. What fear? She looked comfortable. She looked comfortable enough to yell, push him, tell him, dude, get off me, cry. She was putting on a show.
Yeah.
The dude who walked over seemed really comfortable too. So where's the fear? The old man came over, stood. Where's the fear? They don't seem like they're afraid for their safety. She did not move an inch, and she was surrounded by 3 black men who could have probably harmed her and the fetus she mentioned, right? Where's the fear? Somebody please explain it to me. I'll wait.
Yeah. And where's the
I hear it a lot, right? Damon, you hear it a lot. Oh, this fear of this and the fear. Where's the fear? I don't see it. She looked real comfortable.
She tried to get them coffin nails on them, though, them white tears. Tried to put the coffin nails in them, but it didn't work. And then the thing is, if you also more of the story, like you saw, she had the wrong bike, obviously. Then they had to go into the neighbors, and first thing they find is a brown neighbor and say, "Oh, she's not like that. She's like that." Can you imagine? She's in the hospital. What she do if you're a black patient?
You know what this is? You know what this is?
Go ahead.
This the triangle offense. This the same play. This play, they've been running this play. They've been running this play
like that
since the beginning of time. Like, I mean, it's amazing how often you just run the same play. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad they stood there and didn't bow to it. Then the guy comes out, he gonna resolve it. Just reseat the bike. No. Tell the woman she wrong. That's just the bottom line. She worked for Bellevue. She need to be in Creedmoor. You know what I'm saying? It's something wrong with that. And I'm gonna tell you something. I tell people, I said this for years. The cell phone is a new civil rights movement. It is. It is the new civil rights movement. Without having proof of this stuff, just the way this stuff happens, the way it is orchestrated, and then to have the audacity to know you're being filmed and still get there and put on an Oscar-winning performance. You know what I mean? Like the idea that you crying, looking like you look, is always supposed to be, the free button, the whatever. That's always the panic button. That's always the way. And it's absolutely absurd. And I think people need to start facing charges for these false accusations. Period. That's the bottom line. Like, you literally are trying to almost detain this boy. You're blocking him. What gives you the right to block him? You're really committing a crime against him. You're detaining him. He just paid for a service, and you're not letting him
stealing from him. How about you stealing?
You're stealing. Exactly.
Exactly.
Right. Stealing.
You know what I mean? So it's absurd. And I'll tell you one thing, she did catch somebody with some civility, because we do know some people that don't have that patience.
Shout out to them. Them three brothers. Shout out to the dude. Remember the one who was the bird watcher, and the lady walked through the Central Park, and she was carrying on the same way. You know what I mean? So listen, shout out
They've
to
been
them
catching
brothers,
the
man.
right people, Derek. 'Cause I know a lot of people are not big on words. Some
Yeah.
people, all they know is responding with aggression. That's right.
Yeah.
Some people, you know what I'm saying? You know some people like that. All they know is when it's conflict, they only know one way to respond, and it's aggression. You know what I'm saying?
Fisticuffs? Is that the
Yeah,
phrase?
it's hottest on the streets. I'm telling you, you know
Bands?
what that new fisticuffs.
She lucky the temperature in 90 right now. It's still in the 70s in New
Yeah,
York.
all bets is off there, man.
It would have been in the
We
90s.
hit summer.
And they would have had
Man.
a couple of nutcrackers in them.
Yeah,
Yo,
exactly.
I'm trying to
It
tell
might-
you,
it might
all
have
you
went
need
left.
is a quarter water.
You start hearing Annie Up play, the beat, the
It's over.
MOP beat start
over.
coming.
It's over.
Listen,
Take chains
take
off.
rings off. Take chains off. It would. First of all, Kelvin, can I thank you for mentioning the triangle offense and Phil Jackson races behind? I was a little bit angry with this video, so thank you for helping me. The enemy can no longer use me for the rest of this segment.
One time, this woman offered me a ride, and I used to walk to the train on Long Island. It had to be 2 miles to that to Long Island Railroad. And I walked, and one day the lady pulls up, and she got this yellow Camaro. And she's like, "Hey, you go to school down there?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "You want to ride? I always see you." I'm like, "Sure." I get in the car. Woman dropped me off. Everything cool. I told my mother. My mother said, "You fool. You fool." And I see why. Because they've always been afraid of that. The woman could have said anything. Woman could have said anything. Woman could have said, "I tried to carjack her." Anything. I just thought the woman was being nice, which she was. My mother was like, "You can't risk that." And I mean, my mother went off on me. God, look out for babies and fools. And you ain't no baby. And I mean, she just going off. I mean, so I understand it, but I think they held their position. But the whole fake tear thing is enough already.
It's tired.
Yeah.
And, well, at least we got one brother seems like he's coming back, man. Jonathan Majors, saying that he's out there dating Megan Good. So our dear brother Dr. Umar Johnson, had to say something along the lines of welcome back from the Snow Bunnies. So, Jamie, play the clip for Dr. Umar, please.
See, the white woman who dates the black man is like the white teenager who listens to gangster rap and wears his pants sagging. It's just a stage in their development. It's just a stage in their development. It's just a season in their lifetime. That's all it is. It's a season in their lifetime. So you are literally being destroyed just so a white woman can say she dated a black man. The cost of you dating these women is destruction of your livelihood. What is it about the Snow Bunny that has you Negroes so up in arms?
Yo, can we always get the Undertaker music when his face hits the screen? Have you seen those videos where you hear the Undertaker music and he pops up? I need that on every Dr. Umar video. This is too funny. Like, you need to hear something like some type of doom and gloom when he show up, because he coming vicious. And that was funny. I'm sorry. I just had to say that.
No, I think, first of all, I think he is too intelligent of a person to always have to resort to the name calling. He does that a lot when he disagrees with people, and I don't think that's necessary. And I was thinking about it the other day. If there was a white doctor who was like, telling a white audience, do not date chocolate bunnies. All they trying to do is whatever. Like, I'm trying to think if he was referring to black women like that, and then saying how detrimental it is or deleterious it would be if you got with a black woman, it would bother me. I will say that. So what I'm saying is, you can disagree with people. I don't perpetuate that. I really believe that people should, if you fall in love with somebody or somebody is there for you and you just fall in love with them. My issue is if you think somebody's a higher class because they're a different race, that bothers me. You know what I mean? Because I know some white women that just truly fell in love with a black dude and vice versa. But the guy that just like, she's better because she's white, that bothers me.
You want light-skinned babies and shit like that.
Right. Those things like that you're trying to orchestrate something. But I'm saying sometimes people just really, like Dave Chappelle is with a Filipino woman or something like that, or an Asian woman or something, and nobody even hears about her. She doesn't even come around. He just fell in love with her. They both like met when they were very, very young or whatever like that. Nobody says anything, but you can tell he loves her. I don't think he's anti-black woman. And I don't think it perpetuates that. So when Dr. Umar does that, like every white woman is just bad for you as a black man, you need to whatever like that. The woman that cheated on me that I treated like a queen was black. You know what I'm saying? And so like that, if somebody else came and treated me better or whatever like that, I can't say, well, I need to go back to her because she's black. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about it. But I do think he's very intelligent. I do think he makes a lot of great points. But I do think there's one thing that he should take out of his repertoire: the name calling. Like the other day, Shannon Sharp said something. He called him Shannon Coon and this. I don't think all that's necessary. I just don't think. I think it's demeaning, and I think it should be beneath him, especially being an educator.
Yeah, I agree. I think people date who they can. You have access to sometimes, but also I think most people are seeking happiness. And I've had this argument and discussion with people in the past, not really argument, but what if there was an odd number of black people in the world? You're going to tell that one person, well, you just got to be sad. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to be lonely. Shut up and be lonely because, and I just look at it, and obviously that's a rare, simple, like extreme, but it's like one of those things where you just think about it, right? What if there was an odd number of people? So now we can't pair up. What do you do then? What do you tell that person? You look them in the face and say, sorry for you. You know what I mean? Like, okay. But I think people are pursuing happiness, hopefully. And the people that you're mentioning, Kelvin, I agree completely. That when you put people on a pedestal, no one has control over what they look like when they're born. The skin color, all of that you don't have a choice, right? Like I wasn't born saying I want to be my height. Most people would have chose 5'6", right? They'd have chose, you know what I mean? Like, so the things that you have no control over, you can't try to demonize people for things that they have no real control over. They control their behavior. So the dudes who's doing what you're talking about, go at them as hard as you want, because they're doing something that is, I think, physically, verbally harmful to a group of people who also don't have no control over being born as a black woman. So,
I
really try to look at it.
I agree with you, Damien, and that's the thing, because I think sometimes he gets, that gets overblown. You know what I'm saying? In other words, if somebody was saying this about women in our community, just because they're like, don't be with a chocolate bunny, because the only reason she's doing that is because I would definitely feel I'd have a problem with that. And so because we're in a minority, you can do it to them. I just think it's almost a contradiction. It just feels like that,
And it's not solution oriented. Imagine if you just said, hey, this is what we're working towards. I understand you happy and things like that. We got to find ways to bring black people together. What about just thinking about that as an approach, as opposed to like trying to create conflict, because I think you're right. I agree with you. Sorry guys, I feel like I jumped in, and I know Derek has something to say.
No, I just think he looked like Africa Mabata from Soul Sonic Force. All right, the way he had himself hooked up. So I was waiting for him. I was waiting for the music to kick in. You know what I'm saying? So
he looked like Africa Mabata minus the little boys around him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well,
he don't let that slip. D don't ever check.
I don't like to do that. Fucking touch little boys, man.
D go around with it. D don't ever. I've never seen D check swing. If you throw it, it's go.
D nickname is Negan from
Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead. I couldn't even get the name out of my head. He's just with the bat ready. Like, it don't matter what you say. I'm swinging the bat. You don't got to say a word. I just got to see you on the block.
African Mabata is no good. Anybody?
He was giving me Zulu Nation. He was giving me Zulu Nation vibes. That's all. What I'm saying?
Zulu Nation vibes. But yeah, he do give you Zulu Nation vibes. But African Mabata is a piece of shit.
You call him a booty warrior?
Oh, bro. The stories of African Mabata, man. When he be going to Africa, them little African Mabata different, man. I'm sorry. I mean, I know he's one of the founding fathers of hip hop, but he got a tainted past, bro.
Hey, man, that was one of my favorite songs. One of my favorite songs, man.
I can't even listen to the goddamn song.
Perfect Beat is one of my favorite hip hop songs of all time. I'm sorry, brother.
He looked weird back then to me. Now,
yeah.
Should have been with the Village People.
Oh my.
Good. Oof. Word up. Anyhow, and I'd rather be around the Village People, to be honest with you, being around anybody.
At least you know where they're coming from.
Yo, listen. I told somebody like this. I'd rather go to a town. You go to a town and you go to a little white town. You see all American flags. I'm nervous as hell. I'd rather go to a town full of rainbow flags. I'll be chilling, having good drinks, conversation, ain't no
Yeah.
problems. You see
You
a
know
bunch
what
of
it
American
is.
flags, bro. I'm
That's a
shook
good
out
point.
of
You
I'm out of here
spot
before
the
it get
danger.
dark.
Yeah,
I'm
you
out
see,
before it
spot the
get dark,
danger.
bro. I'm out,
Yeah.
bro, because I
Good
can't mess
point.
with it, man. Because you know it's some racism coming in.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
That's
still
true.
some sunset towns, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. A
Yeah.
lot of them. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather like go to people say, oh, you go to Rehoboth Beach, mad gay people. They don't bother nobody. I'd rather be with them. They would have a good time.
Yep.
They like, oh man, you want to go to the new ice cream parlor? Like, yeah, I love ice cream too.
Right.
Racist, right? You know what I'm saying? That American
Except-
flags? Nah, bro.
And what the other side say? Oh, you want to go choke out a black person?
Word.
Like,
Right.
You want to go hunting, and next thing you know, you want to get hunted.
Yep.
right.
It's the most dangerous game, brother.
Word up. I don't mess with
At
them
least
American
the other way,
flags.
you can just go
Room
get some
full of
Milky
Yosemite
Cookies.
Sam.
Yeah, I like milk and cookies. You know what I'm saying? I don't mess with American flags, bro. Sorry, man. I get out of those towns, brother. It's so funny. You can see any other flag in the world. You can be in a neighborhood full of all kind of flags from different countries.
Yeah.
You'll feel safe as hell.
That's true. That's true.
American
What you got to do
flag.
is see, you hear
See
the
too many in
F-150
American
start
flags.
up.
And you from
Word,
America.
word.
That's the crazy part,
Word up.
man.
That's
I'm a
from
citizen.
America.
You ain't no lies.
You go to Washington
No
Heights, you have all different little Latino countries.
Yep.
You can go to Caribbean neighbors, all the different. I'd rather go to a town full of different European flags. than I go to American
no
flag.
lies. No lies.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, husband, no American husband gets scared. I ain't messing. You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy, man. But oh yeah. Now, speaking of getting approached by different things. No, we didn't even talk about getting approached. But anyway, why men don't approach women anymore? Jamie, can you play the clip for us, please?
Hey, babe, I got a question. Why don't men approach women anymore?
Why don't men approach women anymore?
Yes.
So we're speaking like.
Yeah, just generally speaking, like the overall consensus that I get.
So it's coming from a man.
Coming from a man.
Okay. Men for the last generation have been subtly, continually trained to not approach women. And it's happened over years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the whole independent woman, the whole feminist movement that impacted the aforementioned movement has made a lot of women in the West very unpleasant. I don't think women, generally speaking, not you or an individual, but generally, respect the presence of the masculine energy. If a man, so what happens is over time, women stop being pleasant because women became less feminine. I think a feminine characteristic is to be welcoming of the masculine energy. Now, that does not take away from the fact that men can be ABC 1, 2, 3, but we're looking at this one-dimensionally being that you asked. So over time, the more and more women approach women, the more and more men approach women, the neck rolling, the lip smacking, the he's trying to talk to me, the I'm not gonna say nothing. Over time, that programs a man. So when you couple that in terms of male and female interactions publicly, grocery store, drugstore, on the streets, to where women aren't receptive to masculine energy, what's gonna happen? They're gonna stop talking to them. And what are men gonna do? They're gonna look elsewhere. So this is why you see the juxtaposition between a lot of traveling men who juxtapose American women with foreign women. And they always look for the what? More feminine. So what are they talking about? Latin America, Africa, Brazil, Thailand. Okay, now is it that the valuation of women in the West is down? No, but I mean, that's what's happening. You get to the point to where, you don't even want that interaction. Like, I'm not even gonna say nothing to her. So men have been trained to do that. So voila, women were a part of that. Are women to blame? No, I'm not sitting up here saying all women are to blame, but if you are a guy and you always trying to talk to a woman and she's short, curt, don't want to talk to you, what you think's gonna happen? If you keep kicking me, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna stay away from your foot. So what's happening is men are now approaching women in a different type of way digitally. It's easier to DM a woman
because you don't have to deal with the rejection of it.
Mm-hmm. The ego of the
And I
rejection.
think that if we can get to the point where men and women respect each other, if a man, there never should be a reason why a man should speak to a woman and she doesn't speak back, ever. If he's rude, if he's unkind, that's a completely different. I'm talking about just speaking. Do you know how many often that happens? So that's my answer.
That's what y'all think?
I know, they gonna say what they gonna say, but that's what I think.
All right. Go back to work.
Very interested. The EOT's kicking it. Yeah, EOT's. People don't approach each other because they're unattractive. All this pajama and bum gear is not the business. Take a shower, do your hair, squeeze the gunk out of your pores.
God damn.
She said Latinas are effing crazy, bro. Norette kicking it. She said, I could talk about this forever. Younger women don't smile at men anymore. As soon as a man speaks to them, they frown and roll their eyes. It's horrible. I've been asked about this topic a lot. She has. Sean says lawsuits, male masculinity accusations, gamer, too many options, etc.
Passport bros for the win.
Well, you know what, man? I think what's happening now. I think what's happening
Shout out
now,
Big Ron.
Big Ron. I was waiting on it. I was waiting on the Big Ron reference. I think what's happening now is maybe in some ways I guess he called them the westernized women. Woman has been conditioned on one level to have a certain view of men, and now I'm sensing that men are being maybe even subtly conditioned the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It remains to be seen. But this is new. There's always been a so-called subtle battle. Even they used to talk about the battle of the sexes and all of that back in the days, It's just looking a little weird now, though, man. I must admit, man. If I had to come out and date right now, I'm so glad I'm married, man. Because if I had to go and try and date right now, forget about it. Lord knows what shape I would be in. EOT's kicked in. She says, later millennials and Gen Z are a different breed. They don't know how to converse. How many times have you passed a younger person and they'll pull out their phone to avoid greeting you? Wow.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the guy was onto something. I think it makes sense. I mean, I'm a writer, so I've been in writing communities in New York, and I know people. There's a lot of men are trash posts on their social media, their Instagrams, and I see it. And after a while, I just started unfollowing them. I'm like, I respect their perspective because that might be your experience, and you might be trying to figure out how to protect yourself and warn other people, whatever you're doing. I can't speak towards that. All I can say is that I sit there and I could look at it and I'm like, oh, this ain't got nothing to do with me. And I don't really want to, that's not what I'm going online for. I'm learning to curate the type of space when I enter that internet spaces. So I'm looking at it like, if everybody's seeing some of the stuff I'm seeing, if I'm a guy, if I see 15 of those every hour, I'm gonna be like, well, it seems like none of these women are interested in men. So they think we're all trash. And that's the message they want to promote. I'm probably going to steer clear of them. So, I mean, there's reasons for that,
I'm sorry, Damien, to cut you off. I think from an early age, working with youth and young people, even having gone to high school myself, what I've noticed is there is a certain, and I know you think I blame a lot of stuff on hip hop, the image that people want to seek. I remember I was at a church one time, and the most popular young woman who happened to be probably considered the most attractive young woman. Every week, different boy come with her to church, different boy come. And I knew what it was. All these boys, they just come to church because she was inviting them or whatever like that, right? And I asked her one day, I said, look, because the dudes, the Tims, the do-rags, the whatever, blah, 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 whatever like that. I knew he wasn't interested in being there. He's interested in her. I said, what about you ever bring the kid that go to the library here? You ever bring? No, that would be boring. So there's something that we are attracted to. There's a certain image. There's a certain intangible called swag and all these different things that we've seen on videos and we've seen that we think, is it. And then all of a sudden that calendar keeps changing and that calendar keeps going. And that kid that was going to the library or working at McDonald's or had a job or was responsible or whatever, may not have been the most popular. Now all of a sudden he's the boss of a company or he's whatever. Now after Ray done messed up, now you want to go back with him. And I think people need to be very, very conscious of that. That's one of the things I think we're drawn to. So what happens is you deal with these knuckleheads that you love so much and they play you out. Then when somebody else of some substance approaches you, you already have this guard up. The problem is you use your defense on the wrong person. That's the problem. You know, now early on, the dude, just because he, you know, got green eyes and curly hair, he can talk to you. Now somebody else is responsible. You don't want him. And I tell you, it is a cycle. We see it all the time. When you go on a Saturday and watch the buses go to Rikers Island, and you see a bunch of teenage girls pushing strollers up there and stuff like that. Ask, what was it that drew you to this boy to give your body to him? What was it? Because he was selling drugs then. He wasn't working then. He wasn't responsible then. But you, for whatever reason, gave yourself to him. That's what you did. Now that you have a couple of kids and he's out of the picture and stuff like that, now you want to put some standards now on the next person. The next person, he better have his stuff together. He want to come and be with me and my 8 kids. He better have his stuff together. He need to have a job and a degree and stuff like that, right? The problem is he don't want you, and that's what it is.
Well, the
So,
problem, yeah.
Go ahead, Derek.
Think about it this for a second. Like you just said something earlier. You said, you know, the guy he did it the right way. He worked at McDonald's and all of that.
He corny.
Yeah, he's corny. How many times did he get rejected? You know what I'm saying? How many times? Is that the guy we're talking about? The guy who doesn't approach women anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
No, because women approach him now. He ain't got to approach women no more.
Maybe, well, you know, maybe he goes out the country and gets his girlfriend. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, who knows? But maybe that's what we're talking about. You know, maybe that's what we're talking about. You know, the grass is always greener. You can't wish, what do you call it? You don't miss your water till the well one's dry. All the old little cliche sayings, you know what I'm saying? Just roll up into one, man. So,
have you ever seen a woman, 2 women out, and the friend don't want nobody to approach the other girl? Like, you know what I'm saying? I've seen it where
blocker.
Yep, exactly, exactly. So that's it's unbelievable. It really is. And I gotta admit, whatever the system is, it's not working. It's bad right now.
Quickly, Kelvin, I wanted to say you brought up some, and Derek, you alluded to it too. It's socialization. So, like you said, it's in the music, it's in the image, it's in the things that people are being told every day. Because I remember, like, you know, I've worked in youth organizations, I've worked in schools. In kindergarten, they usually like the nice boy, right? Oh, he made me a Valentine, and it's all innocent and all friendly. And then that bad boy image, you know how they say, oh, everybody loves a bad boy, and then they want to put somebody in front of children, and this person is, so that, you know, the phrase that I'm using a lot more now because I heard it said, this is one of the best ways I heard it said, is a society's culture is what they reward, and it seems to be they're rewarding that type of behavior. So it's like, these are the people who get the most attention. These are the people that are thought of as cool. These are the people that everybody looks up to. People want to dress like for some reason. So it seems like that behavior is being rewarded with a certain type of attention, with a certain type of status or prestige. And in I would say more of the real world, that status and prestige is all delusional, right? Because like you just said, those people end up in jail. They're struggling, and what do you get pursuing that type of lifestyle and status? So
you know what catches my attention a lot? Friendliness. Friendliness is such a, there's something so I mean just alluring about friendliness. It's just it's rare, because now I always tell people I'm not a fan of losing it. I'm not a fan of going off. I'm just not a fan of that. I'm dead. I've never. I didn't come from a mother like that. I'm not a fan of the just going off and having this rough edge and being nasty. I'm just not a fan of that.
When I was single, I went out my way to make sure that the friendly girl was treated nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I wanted to make sure that she did not regret going out with me. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I wanted to make sure that didn't always work out long term, but I did want to make sure that she didn't regret it. Our time together. So yeah, you're right about something right there. You know what I mean? But what's the boy's name? The actor, Michael Jordan boy. I sound old as hell right now.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. He's a perfect example of the situation. Yeah, he's a perfect example of the situation because they had the celebrity, the lady. She had the young lady. She had the show. She, you know what I mean, and she called him how he was a nerd and all this other stuff. Growing up, and then now he blew up. You know what I'm saying? So he's a perfect example of what we're kind of talking about. Maybe you know what I'm saying? Like he probably there was a lot of women he couldn't probably get the time of day from, you know what I mean? And now he's who he is, and she was kicking herself. Remember, he was dating her, and now she says she's kicking herself for not giving him a shot, So
I want to shout out the women who are welcoming and who are just pleasant. General, that's a word I use very specifically with very specific people because their presence is like calming and empowering, and I think most women have that in them. And sometimes it gets damaged or destroyed by other people or whatever.
Not my ex.
Still want to just shout.
That bitch was fire.
He just got it. Thank you, DeBar, because I'm with the shits right now. Shout out Big Ron. Yo,
but no,
Big
Sean,
Ron is the victim.
Fact.
We know this.
And Sean's right. You get to all them sweet women in them other countries. It's different, bro.
Well, look at my wife over there in Mexico. Look at my wife in Mexico.
That's right. See, another country, Mexico.
My wife in Mexico.
That's right.
They're we still. I'm not gonna leave.
I'm with Derek. I know it's relative.
Out here,
I
man.
know it's relative.
Derek. I'm with you, Derek.
They out here.
They out here. They out here.
And wait. Don't Kelvin got a type?
Yeah, he got a type. See. And they only got 4 leaf. The ones out here like 4 leaf.
Kelvin, I apologize. I'm out here.
Masali done put the word out on me. That's not true. That's we.
She was texting the bat signal. She put it out there.
Listen, Derek, you're right. It's only they out here like 4 leaf clovers. Very lucky to come across with.
Y'all, true indeed.
If you go,
they here though. They here.
Go across seas when you talk about nice, treat you home, rub your feet, all that stuff, and appreciate you as a man.
But well, now that's something.
Passport bros for the win, baby.
Yeah.
But see, now this is where I get on them at though, because sometimes they go over there and be somebody that's just ruined. I'm like, y'all could have found that here.
Oh yeah,
y'all could have went to Washington Heights, brother. You could have saved all that international travel.
Pull up the
Heights.
Pull up your T's last comment. She was picking at what did she say? At a price.
Nah.
At a price.
Nah. EOTs. It's a price here. You know, it's a price here. How many weaves and nail fillings I don't pay for? It's a price here.
God.
I'm starting MetroCard Bros.
I need to be one of those. I be a MetroCard bro. I go to Queens and Brooklyn.
That's right. All these asylum seekers. I know my wife is in that line.
Listen, grab the block for me in the hotel.
One of these buses.
No,
there you go, right.
You ain't gotta go far.
You
ain't gonna go far. They get the hotel up the block for me. Got them right now.
Passport Bros. We bring them right to you. Now let me stop. I know. I would probably get. Sorry. I know I'm wrong for this.
I was about to say, we're sorry. We sorry right now because they're gonna be like, who is it? We canceling all of y'all, putting cases on all you mother. We all got a case on us right now.
Shout out to the asylum seekers, man. Hope your dreams come true, man.
Demar, you definitely getting shoe program though, because you wilding.
Listen, man, women got to be nice, man. That's the only thing brothers want is nice women. They don't understand that tough, rough. We want you to be feminine, sweet. We'll take care of all that stuff. We'll treat you like a queen. But
let me say this. To be fair, a lot of women in our community was dogged. A lot of them, and so the problem is some people can't shake that. So I'm just like some of these dudes have been real foul
too.
I know that. I'm just saying at the end of the day, though, some of these dudes have been foul. Right.
That's he got feelings.
No, I know that. I agree with that. I agree. In other words, but there's a lot of dudes that have done women foul, and so some of the women have, kind of, push back and things like that. So at the end of the day, all things being equal, I'm saying when someone is genuinely, first of all, you got to really know yourself. You got to really love yourself. You got to really be, comfortable with who you are. And you have to be vulnerable. That's the bottom line. You have to be vulnerable. Let somebody get to know you. This hard exterior doesn't draw anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, you got to take the Twinkies out your pocket sometimes too. Like you just can't.
Oh.
Yes, I'm sorry. Come on. No, come on. No,
You got a tight. You got a tight.
He got the most. He got the most tonight, I think.
No, it's
He
2
in
and
the
2.
lead.
It's 2 and 2. And D, you
Don't
only got 10
stop.
minutes. You better hurry up, D. Come on. You got to do something. Your
I
streak
would
is.
say though,
We staying tied.
Kelvin, other groups, they go through the similar things. There's
Oh, I'm talking
playboys
about
in every
universally, you got to take the
right,
Twinkies out your pocket.
Those
That's right.
playboy. No, I meant the playboys who dog out women. They're in every
doubt.
group.
Oh yeah, I know Mr. No Sotros. He out there doing it too. I know that. Oh yeah. No, don't.
Oh man,
That's right.
We got 10 minutes there. Okay.
Over there, they got the green card girls.
Oh,
they coming trying to get over here. Now go ahead.
The green card. Oh my God, scrolls all day.
Oh, I'm trying.
Oh, I can't take the lead. I got.
Try to follow my producer's changing his mind every 2 seconds. Okay. He exposes why some women struggle with Sigma males. Jamie, play the clip for us, please.
I'm a pretty emotionally intelligent dude. I've noticed that there's only room for my emotions when they're convenient for the woman that's asking me to be emotionally intelligent. That any emotional labor I do that's not for her convenience or not that something she specifically asked for, that either goes unnoticed or when I'm saying something that's not favorable, the shit gets used against me and it becomes about how she feels about what I said and not about the shit that I said.
Ladies, he making some too much sense. Somebody cry. Somebody cry. Somebody cry.
So what? All I'm saying, because saying that, all right, now we got our own money, we want y'all to be emotionally intelligent. That's a great fucking argument until it becomes a real life situation and you start to deal with an emotionally intelligent nigga and you realize it ain't been enough of them in your life and you don't know what to do with that type of man.
Damn, Jamie cut it too short.
Man. Got a point.
Big Ron was the victim. We out here.
I'm gonna just say this at the end of the day. First of all, those of you that are married on this show, congratulations. The rest of us, we do. This is what it is.
I don't know what y'all gonna do. I don't know what y'all gonna
do. We do. I can't, bro. We do. It's
what
just
y'all gonna do.
We need like a sound to play the when he said doom, we need the Undertaker doom music to come on. That we need that music. Oh,
we just do.
We need a whole sound system.
I like the brothers' cadence though. I like these dudes on YouTube. See, first of all, when you think about emotion, like they always like they do it. Like
they doing poetry, performance poetry.
It makes me laugh, but no, I just think the problem is this should be the most basic thing in life, attraction, and now it's so complicated. That's the hard thing. It is so complicated. It's like studying for an exam. It's so strategic and all that she got to do. It used to be what I need is simple. 5'5" with dimples. I mean, but now, my goodness, it's just like emotional intelligence and this and that, and she make her money, and you got all this strategy and stuff like that. Used to be, you want to go out for some coffee? Like we talk and we whatever, and now it's just like, man, you know, it's a lot. It really is.
I think it's hard. People going out nowadays. I look at my young staff, and I always ask when he take these girls out, and every place he take them to, it's too much stimulation. It's like a hookah there, this and that. I said, bro, you just said, it's just too much stimulation going on that they can't even get into the conversation.
Coffee.
You know each other. It's a simple sit down, chop it up over food, anything. But it's just too much going on. It's all this other stuff going on. Like it's like taking a first date to the movies. You don't even talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's bugged out, man. It's real crazy, man.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, you might as well take the first date to the strippy.
Listen, they got good chicken wings. I'm telling somebody now. Sin City used to have this pasta meal made with breast milk. Was so fucking fabulous, bro.
No,
Cambodian
give us Scroll anyway, just so he can keep the streak alive. We can't end on a tie. We gotta go to overtime.
Look at Jamie. Jamie brought that private chat. Sin City best food, hands down. Hands down.
I might have tried the food once. I only went there for the food, and it was good.
That's all you went there for the food. All the other restaurants was closed. Huh?
Long time. They were closed. The restaurants was closed. What you want me to do in the Bronx?
What Sean saying?
He said that's why I got more women as a home contractor than as a corporate dude. All right. And the rest says
Sean out here telling on himself.
Yeah, people really don't know how to put their phone down, look into each other's eyes, and just talk. ELT said something too. She said, there you go. So right, so much bartering and not enough relating. Yeah.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Oh, go ahead.
How do you love a black woman?
But no, Red said though is right. Here go the thing with the phone. They use the phone different. We used to be on the phone for hours. Burn that motherfucker to your face.
Right.
Now they text and you don't get the tone. They don't do it. Yeah,
They take pictures of the food.
Yo.
Be on it, and they're not even talking to the other person. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know how many arguments I got with people that read the text the way they thought of how I said it in their head? I'm like, I didn't even say it like that. Like,
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
do y'all remember when the phone got so hot it really did burn inside their face? You had to hold it a certain way away to talk, and you still had to ill your. Yo.
And you
I'm
was
telling
mad
too
when you
much.
broke
I'm
the
showing my
antenna when
age.
the shit started. The coldest one, you broke the goddamn antenna by bending on the bed. You're like, God damn.
Yo, oh my God, that's a real thing.
Word up. Word. Sin City, they shut that shit down tight still, man. That shit was dope, man. But anyhow.
Yeah.
So we got Watch It or Chop It, man. First up is this the movie featured on, now it's on Amazon, Air. I just watched this the other night. It's about Michael Jordan, how he got his sneaker deal with Nike. His played by Viola Davis played his mom. You had Chris Tucker, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. I would say I slept on this. This was actually pretty good. I really slept on this. I did not understand. At first, I was like, damn, I'm not gonna watch it. Then I saw a glimpse of it in the barbershop. I was like, damn, shit ain't too bad. So I went home and watched it. Phenomenal. They don't show Michael Jordan really too much in it, but Viola Davis.
That was such a smart move.
Yeah,
that is a smart move.
Or they
don't
made Jordan Father look a little simpy. But besides that, it was a good move. Maybe his mom is that strong. So
yeah, I think mom
That's dope.
was a key.
I'm gonna try to check it out. I've noticed that generally Matt Damon don't make bad movies. If he's in a movie, it's pretty good. You know what I mean? Generally speaking.
Yeah. They joke on Matt Damon. Matt Damon come through.
Yeah, he's a talented actor too. We're not out here caping, but
time.
Yeah. And he has a IMDb that's not to play with. You know what I'm saying? Like they had a versus for actors. He gonna get up there and hurt a few people.
A lot of people.
Yeah, a few people you gonna be like, oh no, they're
He'd be pulling
let him start talking about some of the movies he's been in, the roles he played, and he played great roles in those movies. He just wasn't in a good movie.
Yeah, even though the Bonds are pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. Those are good. Yeah.
But next thing is up Tubi movies. Jamie, can you play the clip?
Now this is the reason why I watch Tubi movies. Okay, look at my man's the security guard. Look at him. Keep your eye on him. She choking him with them thunder thighs. You see him? Just go out of there. Nice Steve Harvey, Mr. High Top haircut. Pay attention. Who is this nigga with the locks? How long has he been out? You gotta grow at least 3 years to get that type of length from that haircut. How long was he on that floor? Nobody came in and checked on her, nothing? For 3 whole years? She's been out here murdering people for 3 years. Same person.
Shout out Tubi, yo. Shout out Tubi.
Look,
I can't be mad.
Listen, let me tell you that where was Tubi when we had the black exploitation movies back in the days? Because that was the perfect venue for those copy of speed movies.
That's right, sucker.
And yeah, that's right. You know, you'd see like guys would die, whatever, just the way they would die and everything, and then they moved, it gets panned back to be in a different position, all kinds of stuff, man. It was fantastic, man. I'm telling you, because they had those millimeter budgets, man. They had to get it right, man. One time they couldn't recut, man. Beautiful.
I gotta check out Tubi. Is Tubi free? Is it?
Yeah,
Tubi's free.
Come on, just go in and just see something that you be like, this gotta be crazy, and click on it. It's gonna be crazy. You got like an 8 out of 10 chance you're gonna see something. You just gonna be like, yo, this is on TV and available for consumption. Like somebody was like greenlight it.
That's what I'm saying. The
all
budget,
over it
like who
now.
gave like for something like that? That was the way she killed him with the thighs. That was hilarious.
Those thighs did not
Loved it.
have thunder.
I know.
They did not have any thunder attached to them. I'm just let's be clear on that. They were not thunder thighs. Just to be technical. You
Yeah,
know,
man.
we gotta be clear on that.
Yeah, but anyway, listen, thanks for checking us out again. Please follow us and like and subscribe, comment.
She said,
you're
blame
teasing.
yeah, she says, blame the director of photography. Bloodsport Van Damme had his bangs faces on opposite sides of his face. Okay, during the same shot. All right. Yeah.
Hilarious. Those mistakes happen. You gotta love those kind of mistakes. That's why go back to the Dolomite movies are the best joints back in the day because you always got those little. That's what made this movie so special when I was a kid because you got the mics in them and all that stuff like that. Check out Dolomite, Rudy Ray Moore.
Rudy Ray
Check out all his movies. You'll get all that stuff you're looking for.
Perfect for Tubi. Perfect for Tubi.
Y'all saw Black Dynamite? The movie Michael Jai White?
Of course.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was fire. Oh my god. Still laughing at it.
Still laughing. That still makes me laugh still when I see clips. But anyhow, we want to say peace.
He's coming out with a new one. Pardon. Yes, bye.
And peace.